Hello everyone, welcome back. In this episode here, I'll be doing a chart analysis. So let's take a look here and see what's going on. So it's the weekend edition of Bitcoin trade. Um, as you know, I like to trade on the weekends. A couple reasons. The volume tends to be lower, and I guess for the people who have other things to do other than trade, don't usually trade on the weekends. Um, and I find it, for me, I find when there's low volume and the price doesn't move as much are the probably the better times I like to trade. And sometimes you'll see the price, and I'm going to do just on price analysis here of these exchange plus Coinbase. Here, I'll just go on to Coinbase right here, and Coinbase. So looking at those prices, just analyzing the difference in price, I want to know whether overall the price will go up or the price will go down. So so when I'm looking at this, I see Bitstamp, Bitsy, Bitfin in here, so I'm glad they got all these in here. And then this Chinese exchange here, and then the price of, what was it, 5, well, it says 598. So anyways, it's a little bit higher than all the US Bitcoin exchange, but if you notice, the Chinese exchange seems to be highest overall. And again, I mentioned in my previous episodes that that's probably due to the fact that it's very hard to get Bitcoins as far as doing any trades as far as any Chinese money or anything. So restricting, it's kind of weird, restricting the flow of Bitcoins drives the price up. Isn't that kind of weird? That is very weird. So a lot of I just want to mention again, when you start regulating or making laws against Bitcoin, or pressuring banks to close accounts, or making it very tough to deal in Bitcoin, it actually has the opposite effect. It seems that it drives the price up higher because it's harder to get, but the demand is still there. It's, you think it would just dissipate and die, but there it is. And just to prove that point, I mean, I'm going to go to this here, and I'm going to go to markets just to go ahead and click on an idea of volume here. So everything looks like it's red, so that would indicate things are going down. I don't know why everything else is blacked out. Maybe everybody's taking a well, this company's blacked out, but everything's in the red now. So if you looked at 30-day average, you'll see it's trading below that, and it looks like it's almost bumping up against it as many times as it can before it goes down or up. But anyways, if you just look at this particular Chinese exchange, they're doing quite a bit. That's all, and the top portion, top number is a Bitcoin number, and that's in whatever Chinese money. So that's a lot, and demand on this seems to be very high. Don't know if that's real or not, but it's just amazing for that currency exchange still even exist with all the account closures, the pressure from the government, from the Chinese government. All it did was just drive the price up higher, I guess, making it more attractive for people to circulate bitcoins into that particular market. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. I would have to say, as long as there's more and more pressure to get rid of bitcoins in China, the more and more that price is going to be driven up for that particular market, and it's going to have the opposite effect. It's going to make it's going to bring more bitcoins into circulation. So I don't know. That's my 2 Satoshis worth of advice to anybody who's listening. So take it for what it's worth. Anyways, let's close this out. Now let's get back to this here. So you're looking at this, and let's see if I can refresh. This is Bitfin. Okay, I'm just refreshing it. Alright, there it goes. So that's Bitfin, and it's on an hourly, but you can see it's kind of flattening. So I don't know if it's going to go down or up. As you can see, it just gets into this little moving up and down, squeezing pattern before. Right now, it's pretty much almost up against some of the resistance. On other charts, it's a little bit higher. But you have to consider this is also during the weekend here, where I think the volume is low, and this is a good time that I like to make positions in certain, depending on what happens. Take a position, either a buy, or let's see, a buy or buy, because I'm always buying, or not really a sell position, but basically when not to buy, because I'm always looking to buy bitcoins. I do sell bitcoins. I should say I do short. But the whole point of me shorting is so I can buy more bitcoins. So when the price goes down enough, and I feel that it's an optimal time to make a buy at a lower price. So it's not like I'm trying to drive the price down. I just want to get more bitcoins for myself, if that makes any sense. So let me see here. So let's go back to the charts again and see what's going on. On the 12-hour, on the average price, and okay, first of all, let's check out the pricing difference. Now, right now, let's go to Coinbase one, because it's the same setup. There it is. So right now, Bitstamp, Bitfin, and Coinbase is up by almost about $1. It's showing the highest price by $1 or something like that, But for the most part, Bitfin, Bitstamp, and Coinbase are at the same price, and then BitC is lower. And just on that view alone, Chinese money being the highest converted into US dollars, it indicates to me an upward pressure, or a sign of an upward movement, maybe. The thing about this is that it changes all the time. So right now, it looks good to buy. And one of the reasons why I say that is because I really like it. I really like it when all of these, Coinbase, Bitfin, BitC, and Bitstamp, are all the same price. That's when I really like to buy and sell into these different exchanges in different markets, even 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 on local Bitcoins, because some people go off of Bitsy. Bitsy's lower, so they're always lower in price. Some people will use Bitfin because it ranges. Others may use this pricing. You can use Coinbase price, you can use Bitstamp price, and sometimes they all move in different directions, and they kind of affect depending on what indices you use or combination of indices you use, that affects your pricing on local Bitcoins anyway, pricing formula. But in any case, I like it when it's all even, because then anybody who uses at least Bitstamp, Bitsy, or Bitfin, or even to some extent Coinbase, when all those prices are about the same or very close, it almost puts all buyers and sellers on an even playing field for all markets. So hopefully you understood what I said. So, and that's for me an ultimate best time to do it. And usually it happens over the weekend. That's just my experience with it. So that's why I love trading. This thing trades 24/7, 7 days a week. Doesn't even take a break. It does not. It works for you until you want to stop doing it. I mean, it's always there. So that's what I like about trading. It's always there. At night, in the morning, during the day, at lunch, at break, it's always there. I'm here all the time, so I see all the movements, and I get a better feel for it. So anyways, that's just my price chart analysis, just based on the prices. Now I'll go into more of the chart of the average. On this simple average here, I think one's a 10 period and the other one's a 25 period or something like that. You'll see that it's slowly starting to cross over. So a couple things. This could be a sign of an upward movement. Usually what you might see is it's upward movement, but it's not a strong, it didn't break out like you see a small little movement or evening out, and then this broke out. This didn't quite break out to have this two lines cross over. It's just barely broken out and staying over that, drawing the shorter time period upwards. But the fact is that they're touching, they're crossing. It could be a good signal for an upward movement. You never know what it's going to do, but sometimes they'll break out of it and then come back down just to really push through up and out of that. Or it could stay up here and just level out and just do a number of these things where they just spurt out, spurt out, spurt out, spurt out. That's what I notice on upward movements and downward movements. They do almost that type of momentum. So anyways, that's on this simple average here, and this is just Coinbase. I'll just go over, you can go over these and just look at whether it crossed or not. But of course, my other thing is I like to look at this. Oh, took it out. Okay, and let's see what I can do on 3 month on a 12 hour. So I'll match it up. Maybe that's too far back. 1 month. Okay. So 1 month on a weighted average. This is weighted here, 1025. So you can see this is the down here. So let's back up just a little bit more to 2 months. Okay, so you can see the weighted average on its uptrend here, this breakout, recent breakout, and then you see it cross over and it's going down, and it's never really crossed. It's almost crossed here. Almost. It's more like even right here, and it comes down. Now it's even again, but it's really well above. It's really broken out here, and it's well above. So that's why I say you could see a movement going up. Of course, this really has to break up to show it, but by then it usually might be a little late. But it could be a good position for someone to take, anywhere from buy some now to maybe more limit buy orders here on the bottom here, or a breakout position, like I said, where you put a buy order above a certain price when it breaks out. So, you know, that's a strategy you can take. So let's see if I can put this back. Excuse me. There we go. Okay. And so that's kind of my basic chart analysis here. What I would like to talk about in this portion here is something that I guess I want to get back to, this concept of virtual reality. All right. I bring that up because it's I guess part of my experience trading in Bitcoins, because really I am trading a virtual currency, I guess you can say that. I'm virtually doing it. And you know, I mentioned many times that, you know, Bitcoins don't exist. That, you know, what you're really doing is just buying and selling nothing. And how do you transport nothing? Well, you really don't transport nothing, because there's nothing there. The blockchain just acknowledges that you bought nothing from me, and how much of it you bought. You don't have to transport nothing, because nothing's everywhere. It's kind of weird to think of it that way. So I wanted to talk about, and I know I mentioned from my last episode about bringing that reality that you co-created or you created. Now, for some people, they will say they created it. They are the creators. And you know, you can do that. Again, in virtual reality, you have absolute free will. So you can say, I created this. For example, I will give an obvious example. It's like Silk Road. That was a virtual reality created by somebody. They created it, right? Well, what I'm doing is a little bit different than that. Well, first of all, I'm not doing that at all. So let's make that clear. But I am not creating. I am co-creating a reality. There is another entity other than me that is co-creating with me. Now, when I say other entity, it encompasses a lot. Okay, it encompasses an actual person. It could mean also a corporation. It could be a corporation that I made, a legal entity that I made. It could also be a natural person, or it could also, I can also say an entity, meaning something that is autonomous, outside of me, right? Something other than me that I'm interacting, right? So I'm interacting with this entity, co-creating my virtual reality. So I'm taking part in this co-creation. And that's great, because I can do that in virtual reality with this other entity and co-create this virtual world, right? But the interesting part of this whole experience is that that can be all done in virtual reality. Now, like I said, co-creator, like I said, the entity could be, again, another person, another thing, or just, you don't know, because you really never meet any body, any real person. You just know you're communicating, um, and like I said, this is not a visual immersion. This is a different type of immersion that you're taking part of in this reality, or this virtual reality that I'm experiencing. So, I can't confirm that it's a real person. I could throw some wild theories: artificial intelligence, a being from another dimension, or just another being that's an autonomous entity outside of me. So, whatever. But I just can't confirm it because I don't know if that's a real person or not. I don't meet him. I don't see him, for the most part. So, but anyways, in this virtual reality, I am the co-creator. Is my point. Okay, so I don't really 100% create all this. I actually, just take part, a willing participant. But that's only in virtual reality. Where I am, this is where I come in as super duper important, I guess. Or anybody could, is that once you create this idea or this virtual reality, you co-created it, which I do is I co-create. I want to bring it to this world where I am in the physical presence. I want to make it real. So that's what I'm doing. I'm co-creating a world, and I'm trying to bring that world into this reality. And I want to know if I can do that. I mean, that's because in some essence, that's what I'm doing with Bitcoin. But now, can I do it beyond Bitcoin? But I'm doing it in a way of via Bitcoin, if that makes sense. So Bitcoin is the vehicle or the tool to extract that reality into this world. I don't know if I can say that, or claim it, or proclaim, or if this even makes any sense. But that's another thing I want to talk about. And so I know in some of my previous episodes I mentioned that your rights, especially people in Canada, can be abridged. Well, if you're wondering what I meant by that, not really this definition, but this definition here, which is curtail rights or privileges. And they give you a little sentence example, which I think is true in Canada. Even the right to free speech can be abridged. So that's what that means. And the reason why I brought this up is not for any law lessons or legal advice. It also pertains to why I'm co-creating this virtual reality. I'm co-creating this virtual reality to, well, right now that's the only free place that I feel safe in doing this. It's outside the bounds of any entity other than a willing participant, a willing entity to do this with me. So in virtual reality, your free will is absolute. You can go there, co-create with whoever or whatever, and that's what's outside of, in my opinion, everyone's jurisdiction. And the reason I bring abridged is because I feel like my virtual entity, me being that virtual entity, because that's how I get there. I virtually, my virtual entity of me, that's how I teleport myself there, I guess. Sometimes I feel like, with some of these regulations, that I'm being abridged from going into my virtual reality. What gives anybody the right? And this is the weird thing is, just like Bitcoins, your virtual reality does not exist at all. So where is it? Is it in my computer? Is it a place? Is it in Belize anywhere? Is it anywhere in Belize? Or Isle of Man? It's no, it's not. It's not. So as far as I'm concerned, I would not like to be abridged of my virtual reality. So that's why I bring this up. And it's crucial in a lot of my beliefs and what I'm doing. It's important that I co-create with another entity in virtual reality, because it's something that I want everyone to be a part of. Everybody. Whatever or whoever that entity is. So, and I want to bring it out into the real world once it's all completed and done in virtual reality, after everything's been settled, if that makes any sense. So anyways, just an idea, another crazy idea from someone who's pretty much crazy. So if you ever want to trade Bitcoins, you have to be crazy. And your life will really never be the same. It really won't. If you get this deep into it. That's my experience anyway. I don't know what other people are doing or how they're experiencing it. I don't know if anybody's watching, but this is the end of this video, so feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment, or even a video response. Anybody out there experiencing anything with your Bitcoin trading? Are you experiencing anything like this? Anyways, stay tuned for the next episode. Bye now.